whatever the next big attack is against America, I don't know when it is coming, but I'll tell you this, it's going to make 9/11 look like a dress rehearsal. That next big attack against America is coming. That snake Mr. Biden is funding right now will turn around and bite us.
There's not a doubt in my mind. How do you envision that happening? Is it going to look like what just happened in Russia a couple of weeks ago?
That was a tragedy, right? What happened in Russia, ISIS attack. ISIS Khorasan claimed the responsibility. Will it look like that? Maybe. I'll tell you one thing that we discussed this on a podcast with Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann, Commander Massoud, and Congressman Walz. And I said it there, whatever the next big attack is against America, I don't know when it is coming, but I'll tell you this, it's going to make 9/11 look like a dress rehearsal. It's going to make 9/11 look like a walk in the park. None of these guys, as Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann says, none of these guys want to come in second place. If you look at their history and the attacks they have carried out against America, embassy, consulate generals, then moved on to USS Cole, then that first World Trade bombing, and then the big 9/11. So it keeps increasing. So that next one, whatever it is, whenever it comes, it's going to make that 9/11 attack look like a dress rehearsal. Is it going to be planes again going into buildings? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it will be at the border, individuals coming from the southern border. Maybe there will be an attack at LAX airport, at Ronald Reagan airport. Maybe it will be multiple.
I mean, that's how I envision it happening.
Those
I
guys are
envision
not.
lots and lots of incidents like what we just saw in Russia, all scattered throughout the United States. It puts a lot of fear into everyone.
Lone wolf attacks, small cells, pressure cooker bomb, like the Boston Marathon bombing, that Pulse nightclub. Yes, except plenty of them.
Do you have any idea how many terrorists have infiltrated the U.S. up to this point?
The CIA knows, the FBI knows. I'll tell you this. Since 2021 withdrawal, about 40 to 50 individuals on FBI's watch list, on terror watch list, have been apprehended at the southern border, trying to cross into the United States. Those were the ones that were caught out of the 8 million that tried to get in this time frame since Mr. Biden's administration started. Now, in that group of 40-something individuals, there are individuals, military-age males, with Afghan passports that were issued to them after we left by none other than Sirajuddin Haqqani. And these are the guys, like I said, that were caught. How many getaways? Are they in Idaho? Are they in Wyoming, in Montana? I don't know. And these are not necessarily Afghans, people who were born in Afghanistan. Within a week, I can make you Mullah Shawn Ryan. You just need money. Give it to Haqqani Network. Give it to Sirajuddin Haqqani, and he's going to make you Haji Shawn Ryan, Mullah Shawn Ryan. Give you a different date of birth. Give you a passport. Who controls the passport department in Afghanistan? Sirajuddin Haqqani, wanted terrorist, wanted by the FBI, $10 million bounty on his head, wanted by the State Department, $10 million bounty on his head. He controls the passport department. He's been issuing passports since 2021. In fact, I'll tell you this, and you may not know this. Every Thursday since 2021 withdrawal in Afghanistan is called Holy Warrior Day at the passport department, where the office is closed for the rest of the public. It's only open to holy warriors.
Are
Taliban,
you serious?
ISIS, Al-Qaeda. I am not kidding. It's Holy Warrior Day. Do you know how much money Haqqani made, Sirajuddin Haqqani and the Haqqani Network made, issuing passports since 2021?
No.
$40 million. in profits. He made another $5 million issuing Afghan Taskira ID cards, like driver license. Who controls Kabul airport? Sirajuddin Haqqani. Kabul, let me add this, correction, Kabul International Airport. Who controls it? Siraj Haqqani. Siraj Haqqani, think of Siraj Haqqani as this, and his role in the security of Kabul International Airport. He's the TSA of Kabul International Airport. We have TSA, we have TSA all over, in every airport in the US. I mean, they have made life hell for travelers, for Americans, but they're there for a reason. They're looking for terrorists. In their mind, maybe the terrorists will come again and come through the airport, take a flight, and come here and they will arrest them. So they're the last line of defense. No one is focused on, even in the case of 9/11, no one talks about how those individuals left wherever they came from, who gave them US visas. They didn't come illegally, they came with US visas. Somebody gave them US visas. Is anyone focused on that part of it? And now, just like we have a TSA here at LAX, at Nashville Airport, who's keeping an eye on Kabul International Airport, the departure destination? You're focused on the landing destination, not on the departure destination. In fact, the departure destination is controlled by Sirajuddin Haqqani. Am I making sense?
Yeah. It's hard to believe, but you're making a lot of sense. I mean, it's when do you think we'll start to see these attacks?
If we compare the first reign of the Taliban to today and the presence of foreign terrorists in Afghanistan, in terms of timeline and history, I would say we're somewhere in 1999. Maybe a year, 2 years. Al-Qaeda is in Afghanistan. ISIS is there. You're already seeing it. You've seen suicide bombings in Iran. You've seen suicide bombings in Pakistan. You've seen suicide bombings in Moscow. There was an attempt to blow up, if I'm not mistaken, your Swedish parliament by ISIS. It's already happening. There was a young man from the state of Maine. Not too long ago, he picked up a machete and started attacking New York cops because he was inspired by the Taliban. There are gangs in California who are receiving inspiration from the Taliban.
How so?
They're a bunch of kids some of them were born here in the United States.
You sent this to me.
I did?
This is where I've seen this. You sent this to me.
So you've seen it.
I have.
It's unbelievable. They're talking about the Taliban in Fremont, California.
We'll put the video up right now.
They're talking about how they went to to have Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, and they're showing Taliban flags. They're talking about the repression of women carried out by the Taliban, but they don't see it as repression. This is Islamic, they say. This is part of Islam. You literally have American youth brainwashed by the Taliban right here. They think what happened in 2021 was a victory of the Taliban, a military victory of the Taliban, a military victory. They think the Taliban are glorious heroes. This is really what's happening right here.
What do you think they're waiting for? Why haven't they hit us yet?
It's a long-term thing. And like I said, don't say they haven't already attempted. They have. Like I said, individuals on terror watch lists were apprehended.
Yeah,
now, if they had not been apprehended,
with that many people coming across the border, it is impossible to keep tabs. I mean, they have no idea who's coming through.
Exactly.
None whatsoever. And so to be able to, they caught 50 out of how many? Did you say it was 8? Is it 16 million? I can't remember. The
about
number
8 million
changes.
Getaways, I think.
Is it 8 million?
About 8 million that have illegally.
So they caught 50.
Yeah. And these are the 50
In
they
a
have
pool
caught.
of 8 million people.
I'll tell you this. In San Diego, in jail, there, Border Patrol, honorable, brave men and women, Border Patrol, they caught one about 2 weeks ago. And he's still in jail. It doesn't, that threat that this individual, his passport issued to him by Haqqani Network, he's on a terror watch list, this has not made headlines. None of the mainstream media are talking about it. The American people, they don't even know.
I don't know if they want to know. I think the American people are becoming very accustomed to just, they want to be lied to. They want to be told everything's okay. And it's getting worse. Do you think that maybe that the terrorist organizations haven't struck yet because things are wide open right now? It's easy to infiltrate. Do you think they'll wait until there's stronger leadership, until infrastructure begins to lock up and not allow them through? Are they patient enough for that?
They're very patient. They're very patient. But is that why they haven't? I'm not going to say it. I honestly, I can take guesses, but I don't know. Maybe the day you release this, there will be a terrorist attack. Do I think it is coming? Absolutely. Do I know exactly why they haven't done it? I don't know. But are they here? Yes.
Do you think that Taliban and or other terrorist organizations are infiltrating our government? Do you think they are getting involved in local elections like the cartels?
I don't know. Maybe not. But do they have lobbyists, supporters, Taliban in neckties and suits in Washington, D.C.? Absolutely. Yes, they're there. They have been there for so long. Just have a look at the speech of the current U.S. Special Envoy to Afghanistan, Mr. Thomas West. He's really whitewashing the Taliban. Zalmay Khalilzad, he wants more collaboration with the Taliban. The U.S. Chargé to Afghanistan, Karen Decker, out of Doha, she's whitewashing the Taliban. In fact, she meets with representatives of Haqqani and Taliban all the time in Doha. And this is the same individual who says there shouldn't be a resistance against terrorists in Afghanistan and that she will not support any armed resistance against terrorism in Afghanistan. She's the same woman who was asked by one of the most famous journalists of Afghanistan, Sami Mahdi. He asked him on Amu TV, said, what about Sirajuddin Haqqani? Is the U.S. still trying to kill him, arrest him, put him in jail? Is Sirajuddin Haqqani still a terrorist? She says, I cannot answer. Sami Mahdi asked her, well, you work at the State Department. The State Department is looking for him. There's a $10 million bounty issued by the State Department for information on his arrest that would lead to Sirajuddin Haqqani's arrest. She says, oh, this is very complicated. She refuses to call the man a wanted terrorist. So your question was, are there Taliban here and involved in the elections? I say they hold official offices and they're here. Just have a look at their statements and then you tell me if these people are not Taliban sympathizers or if they're not whitewashing the Taliban.
Man, that's scary. No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.